Hey, everybody. I am Ryan Naylor, CEO and founder of LocalWork.com. And today I am super excited to be joined with a number of employers here in the Phoenix, Arizona area, really to talk about what kind of jobs that they are going to be hiring for, especially during this crisis that we're going through. It can be a little bit of a tough time, we know, for a lot of companies as well as job seekers. I think the biggest thing that I can share is you're going to see from our employers, a lot of them are working from home just like you are. It's tough. We get it. They get it. So we're going to have a conversation with them, kind of understand the dynamic of what's happening, what's really going on in the workplace from the employers themselves, and give you some insight and some tips and advice on really how you can get a job with these guys, or at least take some of their tips and advice and apply them to other jobs you might find online. All the jobs and links are found on LocalWork.com, as well as on the streaming in the comments area. You'll see a link to a landing page that'll talk about all the different jobs and links to their career sites. But most importantly, if you have questions while we're going through this, go ahead and put those in the comments area, and we'll try and get to as many of those questions as we can during the live time together today. But if we don't, we're going to come back through, and if you're watching this after hours, don't worry. Go ahead and leave your questions. We'll come back and get to them. But most importantly, I think the number one objective today, and I think my employer guests can agree with me, we just want to help a lot of these people that are struggling with work, correct? Like, there's a lot of problems out there. Employment shouldn't be one of them. We need to make sure that people feel a sense of security. There are jobs to be had. We want to make sure people know how to get them. So how this format's going to work, I'm just going to go ahead and talk to each employer one at a time, kind of bring them in and talk to them, ask them some questions about the company, get to know them, who they are as an organization, what they're hiring for, and how to get a job with them. We'll rotate through all the different employers. And again, if you have any questions while we're going through this, go ahead and leave them below. So for the time being, let's focus here with Rob and Richard. Thanks, guys, for joining me today. Rob and Richard are from an organization called T-Tech. They're probably one of the largest unknown employers in Arizona. Am I wrong?
No, that sounds accurate.
Yeah. So Richard, describe for us just a little bit, what is T-Tech and why haven't people heard of you?
Well, that's a really good question, Ryan. So T-Tech, we are one of the leading BPOs in the nation and the world, honestly. Business processing outsourcer. We like to partner with a lot of Fortune 500 companies and provide their outstanding service to them, and partner with them to make sure their customers, their most valuable asset is taken care of the right way.
So can you give us some examples of some names, or can I rattle some off? I don't know if by licensing arrangements, if you're allowed to rattle them off or not.
I might be able to tell you some that rhyme with them. As
Yeah.
far as one of the biggest social media marketing companies and social media brands out there, one of the original ones. It's almost synonymous with social media, is one of them. Rob works with one of the biggest search engines in the world. I don't really know if we could legally say the names, but
I get it.
But I would say one of them rhymes with Fugle. It helps to name a couple.
Hey, I don't want to get you in trouble. We'll keep it clean. I think people get it. So how T-Tech works is you guys get contracts with these big companies, and we're talking some of the biggest brands in the world. You hire them basically under the name of that organization, but they happen to reside in your offices in the T-Tech campuses. Am I wrong? Is that right?
That would be fair. That would be fair to say.
Cool. So these guys, whoever's working with you guys, they get some great experience working for some big companies that look really good on your resume.
Oh, I would say that's the number one. When you have the luxury of course having a job, but the experience of working with some of these top brands in the country, I think that is a very unique opportunity that we offer, and I think that it could really help someone's skill set really take it to the next level.
Yeah. Now, I share with as a personal experience, we hire for a lot of marketing roles, one of them specifically being a Google Ads and pay-per-click specialist. And the resume of a candidate that we got said they worked for Google for the past 3 years as a Google Ads specialist. and I was blown away. Like, you worked for Google in Arizona, and they informed me that they were working inside one of the T-Tech campuses for Google, and they gained all that experience. And this is somebody that got the job because of the qualifications and basically all the training and insights that they learned while working. They went through T-Tech, but they worked ultimately for Google. That was based on their resume and the feedback from me. So that's just kind of my third party advice. Is there's a lot of advantages to working through a kind of a BPO partner, because you get inside access to some of these big brands and understand some processes and some tips. So Rob, tell me real quick, what kind of jobs are you guys hiring for, looking to fill?
Great question, Ryan. So we have a lot of different opportunities from entry level customer service on up to more kind of mid career to more kind of senior level sales and account management opportunities. We have 3 different locations across the valley, 2 in Tempe, 1 in North Phoenix, and at each location it houses separate and unique opportunities. So whether it's customer service, inbound sales, outbound sales, account management, tech support across all types of different industries, from the pet care industry to digital marketing to social media to finance to the public sector. There's a lot of really cool, unique opportunities that would align with just about every type of experience set.
So what's going to make a good candidate, Rob? Like, how does somebody stand out? What is something you're going to maybe be looking for on a resume versus a cover letter? Are you reading cover letters? Maybe give some insight there.
Sure. Cover letters, not so much. While we certainly acknowledge that candidates that provide a cover letter, that kind of sets you, it can set you apart because so many people don't provide cover letters these days. However, for us, it's not a requirement of our application process. But I would say that the best way to stand apart would be have a resume that's well formatted and that's updated, that really captures and highlights your experience well. If you work in sales, especially, you want to really highlight your experience with quantitative data, percentage sales increase, revenue increase over the last month, things that really give the employer the best snapshot of your qualifications of what you can bring to them.
Awesome. That's some really good advice. In fact, Richard, you probably see a lot of the same on your standpoint. One piece of advice that I give to a lot of job seekers is when you're writing out on your resume, talk about what value you brought to your employer to help your future employer visualize how you're going to benefit them, what value you're going to bring to them. A lot of times we get carried away with writing out skills, and then we focus on tasks. This is the task that I did. But Richard, you're an employer reading through these resumes. Does that become hard to take a list of tasks that they accomplished and apply that towards value they're going to offer?
Oh, certainly. As a recruiter, we go through hundreds, if not thousands, of resumes all the time. And the thing that really kind of sticks out to me in not the best way is, when you see copy and pasted skill sets or tasks that they've completed in the job, just like you said, like completed outbound calls. That would be one criteria with inside a job, but you see the same thing over and over. Well, we get it, be stand out, be unique. Okay, so did you win any awards? Did you increase the return on investment? Did you hit any kind of special marks or categories? And that's the thing that kind of really makes us visualize, okay, so it could be the situation between going to an entry-level position and going to one of our mid-tier positions is just based off of what you write in your resume, if you would even almost be given a shot to go into one of those specific situations.
That's really good advice. Richard, real quick as we wrap up here, Tell us just a little bit about the type of jobs that you're going to be looking for yourself and you need to fill right now. And just to be clear, so everyone watching this knows you're hiring right now, correct?
Right now, like if you bring me someone right now that wants a job, we're going to get them a job right now. We are very fortunate in the environment that we have. That maybe some markets are not utilizing this particular time in the nation that we have, and some are really kind of optimizing, wanting to grow. And we're partnering with some of those companies. And one right now in our North Phoenix location, right off of Bell Road in the 17, we would have a chat sales representative position available, which gives a great base pay, a great commission aspect, full time, full benefits. And because of the time that we're in, you see Rob and I and yourself, working remotely, there are, those avenues being explored to work at home as this crisis, continues. And once that goes, wherever it goes, we really want to kind of stick with the brick and mortar, but we have many opportunities both at home and brick and mortar to explore in all three of our locations.
Perfect. Hey, thank you guys so much. We just shared a link to all of the jobs that T-Tech is hiring for in the comments area of the live stream. Again, thank you guys for being with us today. Should anybody have any questions or want to connect with you guys, what's the best way for them to do that?
I can't speak for Rob, but my email for sure, and I'll make sure I pass that along to you, richard.robinette@ttech.com, as well as ttechjobs.com would be the central hub that we have for all of our positions.
ttechjobs.com. All right, guys, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
All right, next we're going to bring in Gloria. Gloria with Sparklight. How are you? Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. I'm doing well.
Now, just to get this kind of out of the open here, you are hiring for positions right now, correct?
Absolutely. So the beauty of the telecom industry is that with everybody working from home, we're still needed. So we have a need for new teammates.
Awesome. So people probably have never heard of Sparklight. I hadn't heard about it until today. So give us a little insight.
So interesting thing is that we're headquartered right here in Phoenix. We're a telecommunications company, meaning we give that broadband internet, cable and phone services. Our business model is really serving small and mid-sized communities. So even though we're headquartered here in Phoenix, we don't actually serve the Phoenix area. So that kind of makes us a little bit more unique, but we still have a need. We're right on 3rd Street in Earl, which is just north of Thomas. Pretty large building full of people, and we still need more. So
awesome. So how many employees do you guys have right now in Arizona? Any idea?
So we're probably at about 1,000, I would say.
1,000 employees, and you're hiring for more.
Yes. We're growing.
So
we've done acquisitions, so it's great.
That is great news. Tell us a little bit about the types of roles that you guys are hiring for.
Sure. So we have anything from our sales team. So we have outbound business sales, outbound residential sales. We have technology, so Linux infrastructure engineers, technical support. We also have things like HR. We're looking for somebody to join my team, kind of in the employee relations field. And let's see what else. Accounting and finance. So pretty much almost every department's looking for a new teammate.
You know what's interesting, Gloria, is I get a lot of feedback. They say, I'm so sick because when I'm looking for jobs, it's a lot of these big call centers. Well, that's true. Arizona, we can't ignore it. There are a lot of call centers. I think there's over 500 call centers that have greater than 100 seats. I mean, that's incredible for one economy to support. But to your point, you guys have a lot of positions to support the call center that aren't necessarily call center reps, from HR to accounting and the tech support. There's a lot of infrastructure that goes into that, correct?
There is, yes. So, I mean, we're in 21 states now even. So we're supporting those call centers in other states. In Phoenix, we definitely are kind of that main hub.
And now, how are you guys handling this situation with COVID-19? A lot of people are able to work from home. What are your kind of policies you guys are looking at?
Yeah, so we definitely are taking it day by day. A lot of us in the Phoenix area are working from home. Even some of our call center representatives are working from home just to really support that social distancing.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So, Gloria, if somebody wanted to work for you guys, they send you a resume right now. What's the process look like? How often are you guys looking at resumes? How do you get in touch with them and set up the interview process?
Yeah, so right now we're asking all candidates to apply online on our website, sparklight.biz/about/careers. From there, we are looking at resumes almost daily. And from there, we usually start the process off with a phone interview. From there, you would meet the managers via, typically it would be in-person interview, but right now it's all video interviews. So we're handling that via Microsoft Teams and Zoom.
Fantastic. So, a lot of people are having to do this type of conversation for their interviews. What advice do you have for them? If they've got kids in the background, they got teenagers walking through the background, eating a
Mhm.
bowl of cereal. I mean, are people nervous about that? Should they be nervous about it? How understanding are you?
So we are definitely understanding. We understand people have families. This is a situation that most of us have never been through before. So I would probably say do your best to find a space that you're not going to have a lot of traffic. But if you are, and I think I saw you even mention that in one of your previous videos, is just acknowledge
Mm.
that it's going to happen and say, I'm so
Yeah,
sorry. I'm doing the best I can. But I'm still excited about this role. I think that was one of the best tips you could have possibly given.
awesome. Good. I think I talk to a lot of job seekers, and frankly, they are nervous to jump on a video interview during today's climate because they might be in a tight 1-2 bedroom apartment with some kids, and it's going to be noisy and it's going to probably be a little messy. We've been stuck inside. It's just not perfect.
You know.
But chances are, just like Gloria is saying, Gloria might be working from home as well, doing the video interview, same situation. So don't get too upset at yourself about it. Just accept it. It is what it is. And I think people are pretty forgiving.
Yeah. And practice
Good.
ahead of time. Test that technology out.
There you go. That's perfect advice. Any other last pieces of tips or advice? Some things on some resumes you might like to see?
Yeah. So if you're looking for a lot of our positions are sales positions. So I think always have numbers to back up your experience. That's huge because you can
Mm,
say you sold, but I want to know and be able to speak to how much did you sell and were you hitting those goals?
perfect.
So yeah.
Have the validation to back up your talking points. Good.
Yeah.
Well, I love it, Gloria. Thank you so much. We just shared a link to all of your jobs on the comment sections of the video. So if people have any questions, they can jump in there. Is there a good way to get in touch with you, or how should people engage with Sparklight and even reach out to you?
Yeah, so we have an inbox email that all our recruiters have access to. So I would say career opportunities at cable1.biz. It's our parent company name, but we will all definitely get back to you as soon as we get your email.
Perfect. Gloria, thank you so much for being with me.
Thank you.
All right. I am super excited to bring in Brittany. Brittany, how are you?
I'm great. How you doing?
Thanks for patiently waiting on the sidelines. We're getting through this. We got a lot of companies hiring for a lot of jobs, probably opposite of what the media is saying right now. I know the unemployment is terrible. The lines are terrible, but there is some silver lining. There's some great companies out there. So will you tell everybody a little bit about your company and what you guys are hiring for right now?
Definitely. So I am a recruiter at Ashurion here. Ashurion, a lot of people come up and they're like, I've seen you before, but I'm trying to think of where.
Yeah,
We're your cell phone insurance company. So if you have Sprint, Verizon, or AT&T, you've probably seen us on a bill. What we're hiring for are technical support representatives to help troubleshoot the cell phone for a customer. We all know that cell phones, they act up. The Wi-Fi might not connect or the network isn't acting properly. What the technical support representative would do is troubleshoot the cell phone and get a customer back up to speed.
That's great. And so where are you guys located in the Phoenix, Arizona area?
So we have two locations. We have a location in North Phoenix on 19th Avenue in Rose Garden. So that's off the 101 and 19. the 101 and 17, sorry. And then we also have another location in South Phoenix. That's right by the airport. It's on 32nd Street and Broadway. So if you know where University of Phoenix is at, off the 10, we're literally right across the street from there.
So you guys cover the valley pretty well. Just about anybody, most pockets could get to one of those locations.
Definitely.
But that doesn't necessarily matter right now as you're working from home, it appears. So how are you guys handling this work from home situation?
Yeah, so mostly everyone has transitioned to work from home, all the managers and employees that are able to work from home. We got the equipment out and they're working from home. If you are in a situation where you can't work from home, we do have a few individuals in the office that would prefer to do it that way. However, we're making sure that they're at least, the 6 feet apart. So we're spacing everyone out on the floor if they are in the office.
Okay. So how does the interview process work for you guys? If people want to get a job with Assurion and kind of get that on their resume, how do they do that?
Definitely. So we are hiring. We are having a virtual event on April 6th. I can go ahead and provide you with the link if anybody wants to register for that. You'll be able to talk to me along with a few other recruiters. We'll answer questions on the position. That's April 6th. However, if you want to jump ahead of that and apply online, it's careers.assurion.com. You'll type in Phoenix. It'll bring up the technical support representative role. It's $16.50. That's the pay. $16.75. I apologize for the technical support representative role. If you are bilingual, it's $17.75. Sundance is the north location. River Point is the southern location. Click on the link, send me an email after you apply. I'll be more than happy to jump in and review the application.
Oh, that's fantastic. And you guys are hiring right now, correct? If somebody sent you a resume, it looks good. What's the turnaround look like? What's the soonest somebody could start working, getting some hours?
Right. For the southern location, it's busier. The north location, it may be about a month or so wait. We're not actively hiring right now in that location. So if you do get hired, it would just be a little bit of a wait time before you start. However, in the South Phoenix location, we have a class coming up on April 13th, May 4th, and also May 11th. So definitely here soon.
Perfect. That's good to know. Well, any other last minute things, Brittany, that we should know a little bit about Assurion that can help some of these folks feel confident about working with you guys?
Definitely. I know some people come up and they're like, oh, I'm not the tech savvy person. That's not what we're looking for. You don't have to be tech savvy, more so tech curious. You're interested in learning more about technology. We'll get you trained. It's an extensive 10-week training. We're going to get you up to speed, get you everything you need to know on the position. So go ahead and apply if you're interested. There is an assessment. It's a technical assessment you would have to complete as well. Your typical iPhone, Android, iOS questions. So if you do apply, just make sure you have about 30 minutes in there to apply, take the assessment, and then reach out.
Cool. Brittany, thank you so much. And we're going to drop those links. We already shared them, it looks like, in the comments area of the video. So link right to the Assurion jobs to check out and apply. And then we'll follow up if there's any other things that you want to share. Thank you so much for being with us.
No problem.
Perfect. Listen, this is so exciting. There are so many great jobs in Arizona right now. And I'm excited to bring a couple more on. Let's bring on Psalms and Heather. Hey, guys.
Hello. Hey. How's it going today, Ryan?
Good. Consumer Cellular in the house, ready to go.
Yes, indeed.
Very much so.
You guys are hiring right now.
We are hiring very much so. We have a lot of positions, being that we have 3 locations within our Phoenix and Tempe area. We are a full service cell phone company. Our target market group are 50 and above. So being that we're a cell phone company for individuals that are 50 and above, we make sure that we provide a great source of customer service. And our advisors handle everything from technical support, customer service, billing, and sales of cell phone, as well as customer service when you're dealing with seniors with technology and devices. So we're slightly different than most other call centers in which we offer a career instead of a job. These positions offer 12 promotional opportunities. Right.
Holy smokes. That's really great. I mean, I think a lot of folks that are looking for work can be incentivized by saying it's not just a job, it's an opportunity to advance, to be promoted, turn this into a career and work there long term. I think
Correct.
that's an incredible opportunity that you guys offer.
Correct. Especially in this day and time, Ryan, where a lot of employers have laid people off, we are actually growing during this time, especially with social distancing. Technology is what people need in order to be able to communicate with their family members, employers, just like we're doing with our online chat at this time. So they need cell phones and devices for that. So we are growing during this time. So we need people. So if you're looking for a stable organization that's in a great industry that's growing, nowhere near laying off, cell phone industry, especially over here at Consumer Cellular, we're doing great.
That is fantastic news. Heather, I would love to kind of get some insight from you. What are some things you're looking for on a resume when you're deciding on doing a callback and get them involved in the hiring process?
So we're looking for people that have at least 1 year customer service experience. It doesn't have to be in the call center. It can be retail, food and beverage industry, hospitality industry, anything like that. But we want them to have at least 1 year. We can train them to do the call center piece of things. We can't train them on the customer service piece. So somebody, have an updated resume. We see so many people that provide resumes that have like from 2017, and then sometimes we call them and we find out they've been working all this time. So we really want them to have an updated resume. That's what we're looking for, just somebody with really good customer service experience.
How does somebody demonstrate that to you on a resume? If I really want to highlight, I'm an incredible customer service rep. I've got all the empathy and support skills necessary to be a good employee. How do I demonstrate that appropriately on a resume? What is something you look for?
We're looking for a job longevity. We really want people to indicate they've been with, a company. We really would prefer if they were with a company for 1 year, but we're open because we understand a lot of people are doing contract work right now. That's a big thing. People are working 3 months here, 6 months here, 10 months here. So if they can indicate that on their resume, that also shows us, they're doing contract work because they need a job and they can't control when those contracts end. They have no control over that. So if they can list on their resume, I worked for Kelly Services contract. We know that's a temp agency, but at least we can say they did a contract. Or I worked for Kelly Services many years ago. I worked for them for 5 years on and off, but I was always on their payroll. So, I have on there that was contract work, so that people know when they look at my resume that I worked for them as a contractor. So as far as empathy goes, it's really hard to list that on a resume. That's more through a phone conversation. And a lot of people, they do. We've been reaching out to people that maybe don't have their resume updated just to give them a chance. You never know. The world is what it is right now.
So Psalms, help me understand just a little bit about the interview process. When you guys are jumping on a phone call with them, is it kind of a first line point of contact? Is that right?
Yes, we start off with the first phone interview just to go over explaining what we are, because quite a few people don't know what Consumer Cellular is or what we do. Unless you're 50 and above, you wouldn't know what we do most of the time. So explaining to them exactly what we do, how long we've been around and what we stand for, exactly, and then going over their experience and what they're looking for. What I look for mostly is somebody who's looking for a career. Quite often you have people who don't know what they're looking for in the beginning, so they're moving around, but they do know they want something stable. So I'm open to individuals like that all the time, but I'm just looking for someone who is looking for something to grow, be around, and make an organization better, because our owners put a lot into our employees. For one, our benefits are covered 100% by the company, as long as you're going to employee wellness program. So that right there in today's climate, what's going on, healthcare and benefits are something that people very much are looking for.
And Psalms, you guys have jobs kind of spread out through the valley as well, correct?
Yes, we have our location off of North Phoenix location off of I-17 and Bell Road, as well as we have 2 locations in Tempe, One is off of Roosevelt Street in Tempe, and the other one is not too far from there as well.
Fantastic. So how are you guys handling this situation with the climate? Are people able to work from home? Are they working in the office but spread out? How are you guys handling it?
Well, it's interesting. We were actually talking about this a few weeks ago, work from home opportunities to create a better work-life balance for our employees. So after COVID-19 hit, it actually pushed us to put it into play. So now we are offering work from home opportunities to enforce social distancing as much as we can, because we are a cell phone company. We can't shut down because people need to communicate, especially our customers, being that we have a lot of 70, 80-year-old customers that's a lifeline for them.
Yeah.
So we have to be open. So we have to create ways to be able to take care of our customers. Our customers, as well as take care of our employees.
How many open positions do you guys have right now that you could fill?
Currently, we have over 400 positions available.
Holy smokes. Right now, you guys are hiring for 400 positions ready to go.
Ready to go.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible news. There's
Yes.
so much opportunity out there. I'm blown away with it. Thank you guys so much. We just shared the link to all of your jobs in the comments area, as well as on our website on LocalWork.com. We've got a list of consumer cellular jobs and a few others. Thank you, Psalms and Heather, so much for being here with me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Ryan.
Hey, thank you so much for jumping on our live stream today. Again, my name is Ryan Naylor. I'm the founder and CEO of LocalWork.com, broadcasting live from my garage and my home office. I'm in Gilbert, Arizona, and just like you, probably feeling the effects of what's going on out there. And today was nothing short than we wanted people to know there are a lot of companies that are hiring. Unfortunately, we had a couple other companies that just because of timing and some conflicts weren't able to join us. But we sincerely and heartfelt are grateful for all the employers out there that are working through this to make sure that people get their paychecks, they get new job opportunities. And we are really praying for you that this is nothing more than a short-term pause for a lot of us. So wishing you guys all the best. We are going to be doing these on a regular basis. We reached out to a lot of our employers saying, who's hiring right now? Not just the PR, like I want to feel good and say that I'm hiring, but just like we heard from Consumer Cellular and T-Tech and all these companies today, they're hiring hundreds and hundreds of positions right now that allow you to work from home, interview from home, and be safe. And so my commitment to you is we're going to keep doing this live broadcast and keep sharing and highlighting those employers. So this isn't anything to build a subscription list by any means, but just to get a quick notification to know when we're jumping online, feel free to subscribe on Facebook or YouTube. We're going to stream it on those two platforms first. It just, the technology allows us to do it a little bit easier. We'll always take these recordings, embed them into our website in the blog area and the resources area for job seekers, just to make sure that you guys can stay up to date. I know timing sometimes isn't perfect for everyone. So thank you again for jumping on. And if you have any comments, questions, leave those in whatever streaming platform you're using. Leave those comments below and would be happy to jump on and talk through them with you. And maybe you actually have some specific problems you're dealing with, some things that you've had a hard time overcoming. Let's talk about it. Bring that on and we will make sure that we can talk about it during these live streams. Again, thanks to all the companies that have joined with us today. Wishing you guys all the best.